Welcome to Oregon Voters Digest, the program that brings forward the social and political issues that are important to people living here in the Pacific Northwest. And now, your host, Bruce Broussard.
Welcome again, folks, to Community Television, Oregon Voter Digest, here at Open Signal, okay? And as you know, we're focusing on our issues that we're having here in the Portland metropolitan area, this new form of government aspect of it. And so that's basically what we're doing at this point in time. And so today, this particular segment, we're going to be going over basically where we are, kind of an update. How many people are running in the various districts? Any questions along that line? Sort of again at the same time preparing you from the standpoint of when you get that voting piece that you're going to be getting, it may be confused. People are still having problems trying to figure out what do I do, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And that's it. So we got some problems. So this is a clearinghouse aspect of it during this particular time, up to the point you get your ballot. Once you get your ballot, you go. But at the same time, it's another arena that we're talking about. Who's running for office? We're going to be talking about all 4 districts for that matter, and we're going to be making sure that they're focusing on the respective issues per district. We got 3 commissioners per district, 3 commissioners per district, and that's now someone's going to pick up that phone. And we want to make sure that the person who's going to be sitting in those seats actually have a resume of background that talks to the issue and the solutions to the issues of your respective district, okay? Very, 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 very important. So with that, I got John Sweeney here, who possibly may run for office. I'm trying to encourage him. I'm trying to encourage anybody that's got something to say in regards to solutions to the issues that we have here in the Portland area in your respective kind of a district. But make sure you have your resume. This is not a personality contact routine or money type situation. We're looking for the kind of leadership that's going to solve our problems. Bottom line. And we're the only entity sitting around in the community other than this particular piece right here, with this personal piece, and you know, everybody's been basically dealing with their issues and whatever on TikTok. That's a fact. And we got other mediums there, but this is not commercial television now. This is basically this is community. We've got to focus on community. Okay. With that, I'm going to turn it right. Bob is going to be here with me. He's here. The second segment, we're going to do about 30 minutes on the catch up, and then from that point on, Bob's going to then focus on his piece, and we're basically going to talk about national politics, and all 3 of us will talk about that. But right now, It's on John Sweeney. John, what we got? Well, how many people are running?
Well, as of last night. Now, remember about 2 weeks ago there, 3 weeks ago there was about 95. Then it dropped to about 76 couple.
95 individuals running within the.
That's right. We had a list that had checked it out 95
of the 4 districts, right?
Yeah.
What's the breakdown?
That included the mayor, the auditor, and the 4 districts.
Okay, cool.
The whole shebang.
Okay.
And then. And now there's 87 people.
87 people.
Yeah, so it dropped down to 76. Now it's back up to 87. And now the deal is, we got to sign up on Monday and Tuesday, and on Tuesday, the 27th of August, is the deadline for signing up.
So signing up, that's the deadline. Per se.
But Friday, the 30th, is the deadline for people that are withdrawing.
Okay, so that's 3 days afterwards. Okay.
Right. So on Saturday the 31st, we'll know who's in and who's out.
Who's in Saturday the 31st?
Correct, because Friday's the deadline for withdrawing. And so the thing is that they said there'd be 100 people running, and that the voters pamphlet's going to look like a phone book with small towns.
Okay.
And it's for signing up for one of the districts is $75, and for the voters pamphlet is $300.
Okay.
So, which is a little more reasonable than signing up for the U.S. Congress. So,
okay.
Which is $1,000. So.
Okay.
Anyway, the deal is.
Now let's talk. That's the other piece we want to talk about. One could actually spend up to $750.
$750, and you don't have to do a lot of fancy accounting and reporting, but you better have a record of it in case they ask.
Yes.
You know, because but it doesn't have to be fancy like a CPA, but it does have to be chronological. So
It might be a good deal too to let them know that open up an account. Just open an account, just a little checking account. Therefore, when you write something out, you got a record, as opposed to just trying to writing on the side paper. That's a different ball game. Got me? Unless you got a receipt, but you'd have to keep those receipts. Okay, that's a very important piece. And the other thing is that on your voters pamphlet, if you're going to be spending up to $700, it doesn't count towards the $700, right?
yeah, the deal is the $750. The deal is for your filing fee, and the voters pamphlet is besides that.
Okay.
So the deal is
So
that's a big chunk, but you still have $750
Right.
to play with before you get into the real fancy bookkeeping.
Right.
So and so it's a good thing to keep.
If
keep that.
if people do something for you, let's say somebody puts a billboard and put your name or something like that on it, do you get charged for that?
Actually, if they say it's by Bruce Broussard for John Sweeney,
Right.
no, it's but they might come to ask you for something. But the deal is, it's not on my account because you bought it for me.
Okay.
They might get kind of fuzzy on the in kind, so I'd have to have kind of a record of it in case they ask about it.
Yeah. I'm just making sure that folks out there know what you can do and what you can't do, because a lot of times people don't have that big money, and they didn't go for because some people I was a little disappointed in the fact that they had that situation where 9 times your taxpayers' monies. It's taxpayers' money, so that person has an option. If you don't have the big money, you can do it this way. You know what I mean? Up to $7. You don't have to actually spend $700. You can just say put your name, $75 there. Then I'll get the voters pamphlet, and and sign in, and then that's it.
Well, yeah, and the people went for the finance for the government financed public financing of it, and there's some people were drawing money, and it's a good idea to give them a check, see, because the deal is I give one guy $5 cash, I think it was. Well, then he had to send me a piece of paper to fill out, so he had something to put on his,
to show
his
that,
records.
right. Yes.
So anyway, the deal is, and to record a number towards his getting the money.
Right.
And I think Bob said last time that they set aside $3.8 million for that public financing. So
Where is it now? Right now, anybody have a number? You don't have that.
I was just looking at it, and
But you don't have it now.
it said that people was looking at 1 to 9. Now they're looking at 1 to 6, which means that
1 to 6 what? Million?
No, 1 to 6. If you raise $20, you could get 9 times that from that account.
oh, okay.
And now it's 1 to 6. So if you raise $9, you can get 6 times that from the account, because they don't have all the money.
They don't have enough money.
back it
So
up.
they're basically gauging it based on how much money they get and how many people are going to be basically bringing in those names, right?
Yeah.
But does it stick? That's the other stickler. Do you have to raise that minimum number of people
Yeah.
before you can even identify with the numbers?
Yeah, you have to have so many.
How many for for city council seat?
I don't know what it is, but
Okay,
the
we
deal,
need to know that number.
It doesn't. I was reading this, and it doesn't give that
Okay.
number.
Well, maybe John, you can check that out next time around. Because
Okay.
we're trying to educate folks too.
Okay.
Because if you got folks that are still wanting to run for office,
yeah, and this
they need to know.
Yeah, and this is going to be the ranked choice voting. So, say in the case of the mayor, there's 15 people running.
15 people running.
That's
You
right.
got a list? You got a list?
Yeah,
Who are some of the folks
I
that are
do.
running?
But the thing is, you only get to vote for 6 of them, 1 through 6. See.
1 through 6.
You pick 6 of the 15 to vote for, and you label them. This is my number 1 choice, my number 2 choice, all the way down to number 6.
Does it clearly say that? Have they shown us
Yeah.
a sample? Have they showed you a sample in terms of how it's done? I'm just saying, we
Yeah.
got seniors out there. People just don't know.
Right.
So what does it say? Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. They haven't.
We got to
they
have
haven't
it.
seen
Yeah, we
it
got.
out
Yeah, we
yet.
got to have a.
Well,
We need
I've
to know.
seen it in the paper,
Yeah,
and
we
the
need
fact
to know.
is that what they're going to see is you're going to see a line of names, and then you're going to have 6 slots behind them. See.
Okay.
But you can only put put for six
people.
of them.
Six of them.
And the thing is that 4 of the present city commissioners are running. 3 are running for mayor, and 1 is running for a councilor in your district. So,
No, not my district. No, I'm not running right now.
No.
Yeah,
Well,
remember, are you running yet? Have you filed? We went through that deal with Loretta. Did we just go through that with Loretta?
We're going-
Let's make sure we keep it clean.
okay, we're going.
If they're not listed, certified, they're not running for office.
They haven't filed yet.
No, they're not running.
Well, unfortunately, the way the system is set up, it was explained to me, the way the system is set up
Yeah.
is that you can run without filing
For the
to
money.
raise money.
For the money,
Yeah.
which is stupid.
And so my question to him was, well, what happens to that money
That's
if you
right.
choose not to run?
That's right.
And they couldn't answer
Well,
for
that's what
me.
we was talking about with Loretta.
Yeah.
That's how we brought the issue up.
Yeah.
You know, and she's a seasoned politician.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Someone
Well,
should get. I hope they got it. But you said you were going to follow up on that piece, but you never got it.
Well, I talked to someone that's very close to her.
Okay.
Because I knew she was in Chicago during
Okay.
this week. And they told me they would get back to me.
You said you haven't
And
got
so I haven't gotten back to them, but I play golf with them tomorrow.
it. Well, tomorrow's going to be too late.
Well,
because, you
she's
know.
back now. I can also call her after this show.
Well,
Okay.
it's like James Posey from the NAACP says Loretta and Joanne, they're going to show up again because
Right.
this is too good of a deal.
That $100,000.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether to do the $100,000, but getting the job is, I mean, the present city commissioners, they're an administrator, legislator, so they have to run a bureau plus make ordinances or laws. And this new system, the mayors are really the one with the duty and the auditor, and the rest of them are kind of like screaming kids in the back of the bus.
Yeah, but they're still incumbents, though.
Yeah.
They're incumbents.
Well-
Their names, they got named familiarity,
Yeah.
and that's the thing that we want to bark from. We want to. The folks have to deal with the issues now.
Yeah.
We look at not only just deal with the issues, they got to come up with solutions for the issues.
Right.
So when they're running for office, make sure from a voting standpoint, if when you get that vote, make sure if it's supposed to spell out basically that when and the voters pamphlet. But if you don't see it, make sure you ask them the questions. You know what I'm saying? You got my point?
Well, the thing that
you
has happened is that we've started letting the cart pull the horses rather than the horses pull the cart.
Well, that's the way it has
and that's
been.
us. We're the horses.
Yeah.
You know, and our politicians is the cart, and we're supposed to be in front of this thing telling them what we want done.
Yeah.
Instead, they're telling us what they're going to do.
Talking about the voting population.
Yeah, the voting
The
population.
voting population.
Yeah,
community.
they're the horses.
That's
the
right.
voting population is
That's
the
right.
horses. They're pulling this thing, and we've given our ability to these people that we elect, saying, "Oh, they're going to take care of us." Well, you found out over the years that that's not the case.
Well,
you have to stay on the job.
Well, that's why we're talking to this right now.
Right.
It's not trying to be anti to even to those
To no
individuals.
one.
It's just that they should understand too, because they ran under that particular situation. Got me?
Right.
And so we're not necessarily blaming. My point is that we got a new day in town. We got a new sheriff in town. We got community television.
We got 9 new shares in town.
Well, the right kind of thing is that when they say they're going to take care of us, it's like they said when the farmer takes the bull to the cow, they call it service. And so when a phone company says they've been servicing you for 20 years, you know what they've been doing to you.
Okay. So let's get back to the deal here.
Okay.
You said you had 87 people. Well, how many people?
87 people. So there's
Right now, today.
As of last night,
You
when
said
I-
you was going through
when
the
I punched this
mayorship.
thing out.
You got 15 people now on the list that are running for mayor. How many?
Correct.
And then these people are all certified.
they're signed up.
They're signed up.
They're signed up.
Name them. Who are they?
All right, so we can get in here for the now. Please forgive me if I mispronounce some names. Good.
Yes.
Some of these are really Lulus. Anyway, for mayor, right off is Sigdig Ali, Shi Mecca Salam, James Atkinson IV, Darrell Kinsey Bay, Nancy Congdon, Renee Gonzalez,
Okay.
Yo John He, Mingus Mapes.
Mingus Maps. Mingus.
Maps,
okay,
yeah.
Mingus is on the deal now. Okay.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't last time.
Yeah. Sharon Nassett, Michael O'Callahan, Liv Othis. I think she's the stripper, see, and Carmen Rubio,
Rubio.
Martin Ward, Keith Wilson, and Dustin Witherspoon.
Those are the 15.
Yeah. Now
Okay.
the auditor, there's just one, Simon Reedy.
Okay.
Now, City Consular District 1 is Candace Avilos, Doug Clove, Jamie Dunbly, Timur Ender, Noah Ernst, Joe Furry, Terrence Hayes, David Lynn, Peggy Sue Owens, Steph Roth, Michael Sands, Thomas Sheevy, Cale Turn, and that's District 1. District 2 is James Armstrong, Maria Hudson,
Okay.
Mike Marshall,
Okay.
Chris Olson, Jennifer Park, Tiffany Penson, Elan Purdy Gunny, Dan Ryan, Sam Satch, Mike Cimarell, Laura Stribby, Jonathan Tassini, Liz Taylor, Nabab
Is on
Zahurut, God help. District 3, Matthew Anderson, Sandeep Bally, Rex Burkholder, Brian Conley, Jesse Cornett, Daniel DeMello, Chris Flannery, Theo Hathaway Sander, Philippi Nab, Kenneth R. Landgraver III, Tiffany Koyama Lane, Angelita Murillo, Steve Novak, David O'Connor, Terry Parker, Heart Free Fam, Jacqueline Smith Moore, Luke Zach, and that's 3. Number 4, Joseph Alphone, Eli Arnold, Bob Callahan, Patrick Cashman, Olivia Clark, Mike D. Napoli, Thomas Dotson, Kelly Doyle, Brandon Farley, Lisa Freeman, John Goldsmith, Kevin Goldsmith, Mitch Green, Chris Henry, Ben Hufford, Chad Likens. Come on, there you Tony Morris, Stanley Pekin, Moses Ross, Sarah Silkey, Chetta Thompson, Michael Trimble, Andrea Viduen, Bob Weinstein, Eric Zimmerman, and that's it.
That's number 4. Okay. And you know we're doing it, but by the way, then you can Google and get those names, right? What do you do? What Google?
If you want to know who's the latest on this, you just get on your computer and you look up the top for a new tab and you just print in running for
City.
for the Portland City Council.
Okay.
Run for office in Portland
so
City
you
Council,
do it.
and they will come down and you can kind of search through until you find this. And
Okay. Okay. So it's
sometimes
there.
it's real. It's
this.
there.
And that's on this.
Yeah.
You can do it. You can do it right there on your phone.
Yeah.
Right. You got me. Okay. Got me. Okay.
But yeah, and so, but it's still, the thing is that it's the Tuesday at 5 o'clock is the deadline, and the thing is, You just have to be in line because
There's going to be a bunch of folks. There's going to be another. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm encouraging folks. If you've got an idea, as far as a solution to an issue, and you feel that it's comfortable, you've talked to other folks about it a bit to a certain degree, and it's legit, hey, sign up. It'll be the only opportunity you'll have in many ways that people will listen to what you've got to say if you've got an idea. Because some folks might want to identify with it. You see, you might they got various groups that are they've got a group there downtown Portland for that. That's another issue there. Downtown Portland, they got a big group meeting on an ongoing basis, trying to figure out what are we going to do to get folks back and this, that, and the other. And if you got an idea, bang.
Well,
Put it down there.
that's really important because say if you're not going to really hustle for the job, the deal is for.
No, not necessarily hustle for the. No,
But
no,
okay,
no,
but
don't do that
you're
way.
running.
Yeah, you're
and
running.
the deal is you can get that idea in the voters pamphlet and out to the people.
That's right.
Everybody in Multnomah County, not
That's
just
right.
the city of
That's
Portland.
right. That's right. They will get that information, and right up front with it, and then that shows us also too who's picking up that information, because there's going to be you're going to get a lot of garbage in the mail. You're going to get a lot of stuff in the mail, all kinds of flyers and this, that, and the other. And right up front with it, as Bob would say, that's basically the way we've been doing things. This is the only time you can lie. As much as anybody can, and they won't get you. Now, just in case, now, I want you to understand. Now, if you do it that way, trust me, and if you win, then you got a problem.
Yeah, you got to try to produce.
So no, not
Produce on that
no,
lie.
You got to make sure that you're not dotting stuff, because people are going to be saying, okay, fine. They're going to be demanding that you follow up
That's
and
right.
do the job.
You got to produce on that lie.
Some people have lost all kinds of stuff on that deal. Went to jail.
And it does work now. In 1970, the auditor died, and so they had an election for the auditor in the general election, and I run for this auditor for the city of Portland.
Right.
And we on television, and one of the things I wanted was to have the city of Portland candidates in the voters pamphlet.
Good.
And the winner, he wrote that down and he got the job. And so in 1972, and from then on, city candidates have a chance to be in the voters pamphlet.
Yeah.
Before that wasn't the case.
See that? Yes.
So,
yes.
and the other part is you got that chance to get your idea through, and you have 325 words
Right.
to get that thing. So after you put some of the stuff on there, you're going to have about 200 words to say, this is my idea for
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yes.
So it's,
Yes.
And the times I've run, it's I've got about 3 big ideas through, and anyway, the deal is won a couple of times, and things are good, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
I notice sometimes in the voters pamphlet, there's a name, no picture, and nothing.
It's okay.
Does that mean that person didn't pay the $300?
No.
If there is,
You can omit.
if he's got a sheet, then he paid the money. If they're not there, they'll be listed as the total number of people that are running, and there'll be an asterisk saying not in the pamphlet.
Oh, okay.
But the voters pamphlet will show you all of the people by name on a separate sheet. So you'll see all these names listed, and they'll tell you what page they're on, and then they'll say that they didn't file for the voters pamphlet.
Well, now, but on the other hand, like the other point you were saying, if they didn't have a photo, but they've completed everything else, they'll do that. Just say no photo
Yeah.
in the block.
Yeah.
Got me? So if you pay for the deal, you'll get your space.
Okay, on this photo, it's a real small photo, and I forget
just a
the exact dimensions, but they want it on newsprint.
Newsprint, yeah.
Normally, you just turn it in on
Just a photo.
just the photos.
Yeah. They want a newsprint now. And then they got, well, I guess, how do you get that piece? Again, we're educating folks about this piece. Where do we get that? Can you get that just by Googling it, or asking for newsprint photos or something like that?
Well, that I'm not sure, and
See if we can find that out. I mean, we're trying to help out.
okay. Well, the thing is that I have a small photo, and so after this showing here or viewing, I'm going to go by a art store to see if I can get a pad of newsprint, so that, and hope it's strong enough to survive the trip through the computer printer.
And I know there's a kind of a timeline sense that in terms of how old the photo is, although too that's another issue. I think it's 4 or 5 years or something like that.
Yeah, but luckily I don't change much over the years.
Well, but I'm just saying that's
Yeah,
a tickler.
that's true.
That's another tickler, if you will, on that. So anyway, again, like I said to you before, we're talking with John, because John is kind of the guy that does it. He's been doing the research, trying to catch up. But you can still go and Google Portland City Council races or Portland mayor's races for Portland, and you can get that information, if you will. We're just basically going over now to remind you, blah, blah, blah. And like John had said at the beginning, he said, look, he pronounced the name as best he could.
Yeah, if you do it
that's
real
good.
late on the 27th, or maybe do it the morning of the 28th, you'll see everybody who's signed up.
Yeah, right.
So that could be real interesting, and
Right.
and it's kind of interesting to see some of the names. And like I said, pronouncing some of his names was a bit of a challenge.
Yeah. And seeing with the shows, because we are recording the shows right now, and so consequently, the second show will be kind of like because this is like next week. See, so this other show with hers, I'll probably run that show first. No, this show first, and then the other one. See, you got me? And in fact, I've changed the okay, because I'm saying I'll do this show Sunday, and then the show we just did will be done Tuesday, because it goes back Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Tuesday, and then Thursday, I will show this other piece again too. Got my point? And then the next time we're going to be on, we'll have that information,
Right.
and then we'll try to do that. And if it comes in by next Friday, if we can do a show Friday, that next Friday, we'll go on and do the show,
Right.
and it'll come on Sunday, kind of give you a better feel of what the deal is. Okay.
So, John, quick question.
Wait a minute. Let's get through getting those names out the way.
Okay,
You
I
got
was-
the Navy. You got that. Now, did we hit all the races?
Yeah, he did.
Did
the
all of
mayor.
them, yeah.
We did all of those.
Yeah, the auditor and
Yeah, all 87
all of
names.
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one could still run for all of those offices. I'm
Yeah.
just asking that question.
Yeah,
How
well,
dare
you
you
still
take
got
my
to 5
question?
o'clock on Tuesday.
Okay.
You took my question.
Let's say it again.
So we still have time for others to enter this race and
Oh, yeah.
for others to leave the race.
Correct.
And so if you've paid your $75, you can just not pay anything else.
That's
and
correct.
stay
still
in
on the
book-
ballot.
and
That's
stay
right.
in the
That's
voters
right.
band
Your name
on
will,
the
your
ballot.
name will, your name will be on the ballot. Yeah.
Take a chance.
Yeah. So you don't have to spend $700, $750.
Yeah, he says
you can
spend
spend $20.
$75.
You can pay 20, 30.
Yeah.
No, the 75 doesn't count towards the 375.
No. You pay $75 to register,
register.
Correct.
to become a candidate.
Right.
And then you don't pay anything else.
Yeah, your name
You
would
can
be,
do that.
Your
And
name would be on the
will end
ballot.
up being on the ballot and in the voters pamphlet.
No.
The voters pamphlet is $300.
You
Well,
gotta
no,
pay.
you got a list of who all is running.
Oh, that's correct.
Yeah.
you don't get a photo
Yeah,
and a
but my
statement.
point is that you know, but that's not the purpose of the pamphlet.
Yeah,
The purpose is for you to talk to identify your issues.
That's right.
You can't do any issues at all with just $75.
That's it.
You got to pay that the
yeah,
$300.
but I'm trying to let the people know that is just doing this, for name recognition.
Well, those people are going to be getting out. I mean, there's no value there. I mean, I wouldn't suggest that to those folks.
No, I'm not suggesting.
Just
that.
putting your name in there. That's not. No.
No,
And
No.
so
We're
my
interested
other
in issues listed.
my other question is, why do you think people are waiting until the last minute to enter the race?
Well, they're waiting for us to figure out, to tell them that their issues that they're going to be talking to is important. So now those individuals who are just saying, I just want my name there, fine, no problem. You get up to
what you-
$75.
yeah.
Bucks.
What
Yeah.
you're going to have on that part is the filing deadline is going to be a big show down there at the auditor's office in City
Yeah,
Hall.
that's right.
So then you have a chance of being there and getting yourself interviewed for the evening news.
Commercial
On commercial
television.
television,
Right.
which might also
Radio.
show for the next couple of days, depending on how they.
So free
spread
press.
out. Correct.
Yeah,
Free
yeah,
press.
yeah.
Okay. And then the other one is, what about those people that are out campaigning but hasn't filed and collecting money if they don't file? What happens to the funds?
Well, he hadn't found
I
out that.
have no idea.
Yeah.
You want to do the research on that?
I don't want to do the research.
Well, why you asked
but
the
I
question?
asked the question. I thought maybe he
No,
knew.
you're here to give the information to the people. That's what
Okay.
that's why you're here.
So now you want me to research
No,
it.
no. That's
I'll
what
have it for you next
Thank
week.
you very much. That's a good idea.
Okay. Well, I suggest if somebody's out there going to collect the money for the sake of the money, they better at least spend the $75 to put their name on the ballot. So.
Can one go to court and basically sue a person to do something like that?
Oh, you bet.
Okay,
You know,
good. Well, did you hear that?
Yeah,
You get sued.
yeah.
You get
Okay.
sued for anything, you know.
And since
I hear
I mean,
you.
just so they can
Walking
get,
across the
so
street.
they can really understand the importance. What about Loretta? Now, because see, we haven't gotten anything back from Loretta about what she, whether or not she's she's not on the list,
Not yet, no.
but she's picking up the money.
Well,
Well, you can guarantee that she'll
be fine.
be there on
I'm sure she'll
probably
file.
on Tuesday.
No.
Yeah.
You can't say for a fact she's on
I can't say for a fact, but I would, if I had to wager, I'd wager she will
How
file.
much are you going to wager?
I'm not gonna wager a lot
Well,
because I'm so poor I can't pay attention.
Oh my! Okay, well we're getting aside. No, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, but I'm mentioning it because it's important. She sat in a seat there
Right.
for 4 years.
And she would be good for the
8
city
years.
council.
Well, no, not necessarily.
Well,
the fact of the matter is,
right now we're going into opinions. Your opinion,
no.
in my opinion.
She has to be elected.
Yeah.
Okay.
well, her track record is not that good as
No.
far as treating her staff, as I understand.
Well,
We don't want to get into that.
I ain't gonna get into that.
That's your
Yeah.
person, okay?
Yeah,
and
that
people
is.
have read up. Like I said, I sort of kind of go agree with John because the Oregonian printed the same thing about what John just said just
Well,
recently. Full-page ad.
I've also seen them apologize for things they have printed.
Well,
so
they didn't apologize
I take
on
that with a
that.
grain
They
of
didn't
salt.
apologize.
No one's asked them to, but that's another
Well,
story
you should ask
another
them.
time.
You need to ask them.
And I don't. When I vote for a politician, I vote for them to do positive things for the people. You guys might vote for them for staff
No, don't
issues.
do no you guys.
But I vote
No,
for
no,
them
speak for yourself.
for doing positive things for the people.
Right.
And I know Loretta, and I know that she has done positive, tried to do, and have done positive things for the people.
Well, don't use the show to just say, well, you think we're going to
Well-
endorse her. We're not endorsing her.
I'm not endorsing
But
her.
that's what you're doing.
I can't even vote for her.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can't do it. But you did for the county, didn't you?
I know.
You couldn't.
I couldn't vote for her.
Well, so what's your interest?
My interest is good people around the state
But you can't vote for her.
running for election, and we tell them, we try and bring out good people to run for office.
That's what you're trying to do.
That's my goal.
That's your goal. Okay, good, no problem. Now we clear. We clear. Understand where you're coming from. Okay, good. Now let's get to the next tier aspect of it. This is your sweetheart deal now.
Okay.
And now we can talk about your partisan situation aspect of it.
Well, it's not. I want people to understand. I'm not partisan in my voting. I'm not a down the ballot Democrat or down the ballot independent or anything of that nature.
Wait, can you
I
mention
vote
the other
for
one?
people
Can you
that.
mention the other one?
Huh?
You want to mention the other major entity? You got Democrats, Republicans, Independents.
And
right?
independent.
Did you mention Republican too?
Okay, you just did.
No.
Republicans.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Let's be fair. Let's be fair.
And so my attitude about, I have family members, friends, and close acquaintances that are all of those things. And so I vote my conscience, and I expect them to vote their conscience. And I can present my side as to why I do, and if we are in a debate or a discussion, I expect you to be able to present your side and why you are. And then that's that.
Okay.
We go
That's
on.
enough. Okay, so we cool on that.
We cool on
We go on
that.
that. Okay, now let's get into the national.
Okay.
Let's get into the national campaign. Now we've just gone through two major conventions. One for the Republicans, one
Right.
for the Democrats. We didn't go through the independent one. Got me? To a certain degree, we did with
Kennedy?
Kennedy. but then he pulled out. I mean, and he basically went. His vote, if you will, was for the.
No, he went to support. He's supporting the Republican candidate.
Okay.
That's that.
Okay, Trump.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's that? Who he voted for?
See, you try. I shouldn't have never told you what I wasn't going to do.
We're just trying to be fair because the people are looking.
Let me be
straight up.
Let me be television right now. There are two people running for president: Donald Trump and Kamala Harris.
One Republican
and one Democrat.
And before
that, it was three people running.
Okay, which was
Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr., who was running as an independent.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
We only Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy. Yesterday, he's dropped out. On Friday, he dropped out, and he gave his support to the Republican candidate.
Okay, so
he has been a Democrat. He got to tell the whole story. He was a Democrat with his family and everyone else, and he became an independent, and now he's supporting the Republican candidate.
I'm just saying there were the three major parties.
Right.
They had basically a deal, so that we have two.
Right.
Two major parties right now. That's where we are
right
now. Okay, so that's gone. So now we're getting into the campaign of the various individuals.
Right.
And that's why we want to make sure that from a community standpoint that you listen to the issues, not the personalities. Because if you listen to the personalities, you will not get to the issues. Because the elected entity, which is one seat, one person in that particular seat, has yet to be set down. That person is not sitting in that seat yet. Not yet. So the only thing that they basically do is talk to the issues and the solutions to try to sway the voters who are basically going to be selecting that entity for that seat. So that's why I'm saying you want to just keep it just on issues. See, just do it on issues. We got two people, but they should be specifically talking about issues and solutions. And then a lot of times the media tries to basically identify from interviewing different folks and this, that, and the other as to what the issues are. Bottom line. Now, they're supposed to respond to that piece because the voters are the one that makes the decisions. And when the person sits at that seat, you know what I mean, the outcome, whether it's as just like a baseball game, if it's 2-1 or 5-1 or 1-0, but it's whoever sit in that seat. Fair?
Well, that's fair.
The issue
But before they get to that seat, the American public has to do one thing, and that's vote. And that's what, and that's the important part of these races, is that if you is to vote, to voice your opinion on who you think should represent you in that seat.
As it relates to the issues and the solutions.
You should vote based on the fact that the person that you think, whether it's issues, appearances, or whatever,
No. I mean,
should
that's your
support
opinion. That's your
you
opinion.
in that seat. That's what that's the human.
No,
that's
saying,
the human fact.
No, but you can't get personality in the thing.
Why not?
What are you talking about? Who are you voting on? The personality, or are you talking about the issues?
They've done this since the beginning of time, Bruce.
Look, we changed
when
it.
Kennedy ran.
Well, let John get in here. We gotta.
Okay, well, let me-
divide it.
When you vote, you vote the way you want to, for whatever reason you
Thank
want
you.
to.
Okay, that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
But it's nothing about the issue, right?
Well, that's
It
part
depends
of it.
who the voter is, because some of them are lockstep on certain issues, and some of them they like it. Like the threat was that Gavin Newsom was going to be the nominee, and they're on the View. The ladies were saying he has such nice hair.
Right.
So it was for some people it could be the looks.
Well, let me ask you a question. Then. I'm asking maybe, but I'm throwing it on the table. Is that the way we should be looking at an election?
No.
What should we be looking at an election?
We should be looking at what is the person going to do for the betterment of the country, i.e., who is the country It's the citizens of this country, i.e.,
But
it's
you
the
know,
businesses
but the
of
point
this.
is, what happened to the issues?
In a lot of cases, there's three things that happen. One is personality. Two is issues. Three is party.
In that structure, that's the way. That's the way.
I
the
mean,
way
you
you
can
think.
put them in any form,
No, no, no,
one,
no,
two,
no,
three,
no,
any
no,
way you
no,
want
no,
to.
okay.
But those are three of the
you're
issues that
saying,
comes
okay.
about.
But you still using the word issue, but you define specifically what these categories.
Well-
give me a category, John.
Well,
My job
ideally,
is trying to get the deals
ideally, you look at the issues and also what the people say they're going to do and what they have done. And I remember my mom, before I actually voted, I was talking to her one time, and she says, "Well, they must be doing a good job because they're in there." Well, I found out, no, that's not true.
Right.
It's kind of like I said.
Name familiarity works.
Yeah, 75%
Sure.
is name familiarity. You know, it's sometimes somebody's got a real odd name, and maybe they're even in there. Then John Smith runs, and John Smith gets elected. You know, just look at some of these names here. It'd be real interesting to see how some of those names come out.
Yeah.
Even if they campaign a lot, because
Right.
somebody probably look at it, well, I can't pronounce that, so I can't do it. It's kind of like they say, if you can't pronounce what's in the food, maybe the deal is you shouldn't eat it, see?
The other part of that is, for a long time, when you're in voting, you wanted your name at the top, not at the bottom. So they had to go away from alphabetical, putting them in alphabetical
They
order.
mix them up, yeah.
Because, why? Because the people would vote the first person.
Yeah.
You know,
see,
so it's all kind of things that
I'm hearing what you're saying, but that's the way we've been doing it.
that's the way they do it today. Also, that's what we're trying to get away from.
Well, that's what I was sharing with you. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
We got some major issues in this country right now.
Sure.
Immigration is a major issue. And what people don't wait. Before you start getting nervous, because you see the big.
You saw my eyes go up. That's my mother's. That's my mother's side of the family.
But see, my point is that it is a major issue. We got about 30. They figured the numbers right. They use the numbers 20 to 30 million people. Let's say. No. Listen to what I'm saying.
So America has grown.
No,
are
no,
you
we're
telling me
immigrants. No,
America has grown 20 or 30 million people over the last 4 years?
What are you?
They got to be somewhere.
Yeah, the illegal immigration.
I'm giving you.
So now
I'm
you're
just
telling
using
me that we've gone from, let's say, I'm just going to use it, 250 million people to 255 million people.
Well, probably about
No, it's three
320 to
something.
370.
320 to
Or something, yeah. Because we got probably, but the point of the matter is that they've said, now this is from the media standpoint.
You're right.
From the standpoint, and they've identified these individuals have not gone through the process to pick up their citizenship. That's basically
Right.
what they're talking to right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we got these kind of individuals, these individuals that are here, and what comes up a lot of times in the media aspect of it. So if we got these folks in here, they got to work somewhere. They got to eat.
Not necessarily.
They got medical.
Put them on
Now,
the
when
dole, just flop that money out.
Where at? From who?
New York. New York puts them in hotels and feed them
All
and
over the
clothe
place.
them and everything else.
So who's giving up the money?
That's a good question.
What's the
People.
government?
The voters.
people.
Actually had
Who's the government? Who's the
Taxes.
Government? Who's the government?
Well, you got the federal and the state and the local
You're
government.
not
In fact,
part of the government.
what?
You're not part of the government.
I'm just the voter and the taxpayer, see?
Oh, you said taxpayers. Okay, what are you?
I'm with John. I'm a taxpayer
You're a
and a
taxpayer
voter.
too. So you're paying for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, that's the thing is, a lot of times people say, well, it's government money, it's free money. No, it is. It's our money.
that's right. That's
And
right.
the deal is they've actually kicked veterans out of their veterans' homes for these illegal immigrants.
Right. See, so my point is that it's a major issue because we've gotten to that number such that it's missing. My point is that it's got it says that it's changing the systems. The system is such that it's knocking a lot of the little people because we're trying to make a big push now to try to get the middle class You know, and we've had a lot of poor folks, classes that's back there. That's another issue that people talk about, but it's an issue for discussion.
I call crap.
Okay, why is
And
that?
you know why I call crap?
Why is that?
Because we have a federal government and local governments that can make changes in a heartbeat
How do we do
on
that?
certain issues.
How do we do that?
On this issue of immigration, okay, nobody wants to touch it. You know why? That's my question, is why? How is it that you can't say to a company, if you hire illegals, we're going to put you out of business for 6 months? I guarantee you it'll help stop some of that. They ain't got no place to work, but you need them in the fields. You need them in some of the slaughterhouses. Some of those things that Americans don't want to do and call it work.
Okay.
Okay. So
Wouldn't you consider that being part of the solution?
So that would be part of the solution.
Okay. Now we're talking.
If you say, so you can come up with solutions to stop some of this. You're not going to stop it all, because there's always someone that's going to try and break the law. So you're not going to stop it all. But we have some problems in this country that's worse than illegal aliens. I don't like to call them that. I got to find another name to call these people, because they're not aliens. They're American. They're not Americans.
They're undocumented.
They're undocumented.
Right.
People coming into this country. And yes, we should document people coming in here. We should know who's here and who shouldn't be here. Know who just like we should know things on firearms. We know your mattress is more protected than than people coming into than our borders. I got a tag on there. You go to jail if you take it off, and they find out about it. So we have to make some changes. We have to sit down and stop letting our attitude take over, and be sensible and understanding and reasonable in making decisions for the betterment of America. Not the betterment of this rich guy or this poor guy, but betterment of America. And that's what we've gotten away from. I remember when politicians sat down both sides of the aisle and came up with a solution. They would take it and they would battle over it. But then when they made when they came up with that solution and it went in and it was voted on, they worked to make sure it worked, not try to destroy it. One side said, they didn't take my idea and we go destroy that. They kept tweaking it until made it work.
I agree with. We're not doing that now.
No.
Okay. So where do we start?
We start today.
And how do we do that to start with?
By getting someone in that's want to be that's going to lead this country to bringing people together and stop trying to divide us based on race, creed, color, or class.
Do you think that one person can do this on their own?
I don't think one person, but they can be the starter. It takes one. It takes one step forward to move forward. And then you get one step, someone else comes along, you got two people making steps, then you got three. It's not going to... We didn't get to where we are overnight.
So we agree that it's a half and half now, right?
No, we can agree that we didn't get to this point overnight, and it's not going to be taken care of overnight.
Well, just in basic language, it is a kind of a half and half, because we got two people running. We got one person on this side and one person on that side. So I'm just trying to clarify to the folks who are going to be doing the voting aspect of it. Now listen to what that's all about.
Right.
Listen to the issues.
Listen to the issues. See if they can explain the issues. I can't wait for this debate. Maybe we will get some clarity.
Well, now media has identified the issues.
But the media is how many? Which media outlet don't make money?
What? Well, it's an ad.
So they make money with confusion.
No, but they're still a communicator. I mean, just like this. What about this media? You use it,
but you get a chance to read it and decipher it in your own language, your own attitude. It's just, see, media to me is kind of like you sending me an email. If you send me an email on something that we have discussed, and I look at it, I can go,
Agree or
he's
disagree?
upset. He's upset over this. That might not be what you're upset over, but I get that chance, and that's the same way with media. I watch all of them. I watch news.
But you can counter what they say
Yeah,
anytime.
I've been involved in this long enough that I don't have to smell the BS to know it's there.
Yeah, and the thing is,
That's your opinion.
yeah,
That's me.
No,
That's
you.
about me.
I said you.
Yeah, that's
your
me.
opinion. Your opinion.
Right. Everybody can't do that because they haven't been trained to look on the other side of the word.
No, be careful now. On that, Pete.
Everybody
Everybody
hasn't
has a
been
vote
trained.
now.
Now, I'm not talking about the vote. I'm saying
no.
everybody
They
hasn't
have an
been
opinion.
trained.
Everybody has an opinion.
Well, yes.
It is all
opinion-
based on your background.
well, the deal
That's
is,
how you got there.
a lot of people get led astray by
Think
the
about that.
media.
That's right.
Yeah, but still, it's there.
No, but
It's a universal piece that sits there.
But that's
that we
all
all
I-
communicate. We respond to it. That's what you just saying.
I just responded to
That's
it.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. And everybody, that's where the majority of the folks basically pick up their information.
I wouldn't go.
Well, that's what you just said.
I wouldn't go majority of the folks.
What percentage you?
I got a niece that don't even watch TV.
Okay.
So I mean that's just one. I got a son that don't watch anything that he feels is democratic. I got family members that don't watch anything. They won't turn on a certain
Republican,
that do. I'm like, excuse me. How do you learn anything listening to one side? If it's just my story, how do you know it's true?
But media tends to come in two different sides. So they do come in different sides. I mean, in all due respect, you got CNN and Fox.
Okay.
I mean, they and that's good. If you can watch both, you get an idea of what's each of them's coming from. And I look at both. Now, if you just look at one side, then that's where you're gonna get stuck.
I watch CNN and Fox on both
Right.
on both conventions. One was a promoter, and one was a distributor.
I'm not talking
of
about the
information.
candidates
No,
now.
I'm not
We're
talking about. I'm
communication.
talking about the two different stations. One was promoting the
Republican.
I ain't saying which party. I ain't gonna do
I didn't
that.
say party. It's one
was
Republican, one's Democrat.
one channel was promoting their party. The other channel was giving you information and making you think as to what the party was saying. That's the way I came out of it.
Okay.
Now maybe
I
know.
remember when I was young, the deal is I went to an event down at Keller Auditorium and I watched the whole thing. And then I went home and then I watched them on television. I figured, what? Were they on the same planet, in the
Yeah.
same time zone? Because what they reported on wasn't anything that actually went on. And the thing is that the media gets out there and they get a feather in the wrong place and they keep pushing this thing. And I remember talking to a guy, he was running for state treasurer, and Willamette Week was interviewing him and asked all about education. So this guy says, well, we're not running for superintendent of public instruction, we're running for treasurer. Ask some money questions. Well, they got off that real quick because their favorite, I don't think he could balance his checkbook.
right.
Well, see, gentlemen, the reason why I'm doing it this way,
I know what you're doing.
is because the fact of the matter is that you got a lot of viewing audience out there. And sometimes education has an issue aspect of it. Sometimes they say, look, I don't look at news at all, that type of deal. And you got a lot of folks that way.
Right.
And we're sitting in kind of a crisis, kind of a mindset routine. And the idea is that sometimes money tends to, a lot of times, can put you in a position where you can overwhelm another person, if you will, and vice versa. You got my point?
Right.
And sometimes education can do the same thing. You may have some folks who wasn't even educated, but guess what? They got the ideas,
Right.
but they can't get elected. So the idea is that that's why I make that point about the personality deal. Get the person out of the deal and try to see if we can hone in to the issues, and then basically say, okay, fine, what is the solution? Like you're saying, bringing
Right.
up those this, that, and the other. And if we can do that, that might give us an opportunity to get the person that closest the closest person that, we can get in that
just
seat
might
that might get that seat person.
deliver.
You might deliver that piece. But otherwise, it's a tough deal. So I'm just saying, rather than folks just stressing out, it's so easy to say,
Right.
I don't like Bob.
Yeah.
Or I don't like John. You got these three guys talking, blah, blah, blah. No, don't look at us.
Right.
Look at what
Look at-
we're sharing with you from the standpoint. Stay focused to the issues as much as you possibly can. And you could spend 24 hours, 26 hours a day looking at TV.
Right.
And
be dumb as a box of rocks.
No, not just dumb, just stressed out.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a stressful situation. So, but on the other hand, if you can just kind of knock off at least a portion of the stuff, and just kind of say, now maybe read about this is the issue. Then if it says homelessness, okay, boom, homelessness. Then when you start looking at those TV pieces, rather than look at the news for maybe 30 minutes, but just homelessness and get off
Right.
and rest a bit.
Well, one thing you got to look for is that they got a thing now and so on. Rather than saying that you're wrong or you're lying, they say you're spreading misinformation or disinformation, which sounds real nice, which makes you look bad, because calling you a liar or wrong is.
But as you know,
kinda
we have a
harsh.
constitution. We have freedom of speech. You know,
Yeah.
nowadays you can say anything you want to say.
And
But
so-
you need to analyze.
No, yeah, but
Who the person is and what they're saying.
But my point is that, but nowadays, you know, freedom of speech, I can use the F word any day of the week. I can use the N word any day of the week. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And depending upon what level you are, I mean, somebody might sue you, but otherwise, what you gonna sue somebody who don't have nothing? You know what I'm saying? So they just drop that off. You know what I'm saying? Anyway,
Yeah.
this has been a good discussion. We got to get out of here now.
Something John
Real quick.
something
Real quick.
John pointed out
Real quick.
you know about the city council, well, the new city council, when they come
Right.
into being,
Right.
they have all the power.
Yeah.
You know, all it takes is 7 of those people, and they can overrun what the mayor wants to do, what everybody else wants to do.
If the people are together, that's why it's so important.
People
They-
need to
they-
look at what's going on.
They got to elect those three
Yeah.
people, those seats, and
I
have
just wanted
access.
to- I know, John, you wanted to say something about that, and we ran out of time.
No, you didn't run out of time. That's what we've been saying all along.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This has been just great. I mean, look like
I'm excited.
No, well, you're supposed to get excited. And hopefully, the viewing audience, maybe you can do the same thing. I'm suggesting to you, you can do the same thing with your neighbors. You know, get the folks around the table and talk about the things, just like we've been talking
That's
about.
it.
Just common sense stuff. And you close to read. You don't have to have a degree. You don't have to, just talk what's on your mind. What are the issues impacting you at your home, in your neighborhood? Okay, in your neighborhood, you have the opportunity now. You're going to have 3 commissioners for each district. 3 commissioners. That means they've got an address. They're going to have to be living in that particular area. They got to
And you
live
send a
in that
letter, send
area.
it to all 3.
Go and knock on the door.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Face to face.
Yeah, you can see them. They got to respond to you. They're going to be living in your neighborhood. It's not like going to be like the regular city council folk. Because one, you got to go downtown through all that traffic. Got me? And in all due respect, if you got to have some money in your pocket if you're going to access them in many ways. It's just a whole different kind of a mindset. And I'm not knocking the individuals per se, because they got to react to who gave me the money, right? Got me?
That's it.
So that's a long note. So like I said, get together with your neighbors, share the show, look at it again if you can, and if not, then give us a call, 503-701-0457. Maybe you might want to come on the show. Go out and get elected. Okay, take care. We'll see you next week. Okay.
Oh, this thing.